A sonnet is a 14-line poem, a carefully constructed vessel for expressing complex emotions and ideas. It's a form that originated in 13th century Italy, primarily as a way to explore romantic love, with the Italian poet Petrarch solidifying its structure and popularizing its use. This form isn't just about the number of lines, it's also defined by its rhyme scheme and rhythm, most often iambic pentameter, which creates a musical and structured flow. The specific rhyme scheme varies depending on the type of sonnet, whether it's the Petrarchan, which divides the poem into an octave and sestet, or the Shakespearean, consisting of 3 quatrains and a couplet. These structural elements aren't arbitrary, they guide the development of the poem's ideas, allowing the poet to present a problem or question and then offer a resolution or reflection. While traditionally associated with love, the sonnet has evolved to address a wide range of subjects, from politics and religion to nature and personal reflection, demonstrating its enduring versatility and power as a poetic form. The sonnet's constraints, rather than limiting the poet, provide a framework for precision and depth, making it a testament to the power of form in art. Thanks for reading an issued letter to the editor. Subscribe for free to receive new posts and support my work. Zephyr Zipper Sonnet Poetry. I would rather the man who presents something for my consideration subject me to a zephyr of truth and a gentle breeze of responsibility rather than blow me down with a curtain of hot wind. Grover Cleveland. Onomatopoeia perturbation, almost a chastity capful of air, member berries that hold fast commotion, understanding what is free will to bear. When hands down simply as we shoot the breeze, vim and vigor knew how to burn rubber, adjusting the pressures of brain skis, clasp locker opens the fly to blubber. Interlocking teeth of hookless sliders, duster coats worn without any skin shirt, which way is the weather's lightness blowings quick as there comes that destroyer escort. Yes, you can play with its open-ended, tightness retaining lock represented. I had a disc giving me a lot of trouble, and I had 4 surgeries. Then I had a staph infection, so they had to open me up 5 times in 4 months. It was in the bottom of my back, the same incision. They should have put a zipper on it. Steve Wynn. Experience may differ. Sonnet poetry. Experience has taught me, when I am shaving of a morning, to keep watch over my thoughts, because, if a line of poetry strays into my memory, my skin bristles so that the razor ceases to act. A. E. Houseman. Pejorative resemblance speak its name, a tournament is aligned with bond life, keeping that sweetener by aspartame, red-blue concoction, purple loose strife. Almost a vendetta of sun-eaters, divaricate phoneme reduce wonder, stun Y-shaped versatility feeders, mindcap spots day walker spelunker, voices coprolalia picked occurrence, who can use sharpening widget savoir vivre, resolve cairngel lenient transparence, heroes welcome dernier cri known heaver. Rest assured building more reliable, besotted with your indescribable. When people express opinions that differ from yours, take it as a chance to grow. Seek to understand over being understood. Be curious, not defensive. The only way to disarm another human being is by listening. Glennon Doyle Melton. One more sonnet poetry. It is that range of biodiversity that we must care for, the whole thing, rather than just 1 or 2 stars. David Attenborough. Crescendo edition single amount, on several occasions de novo, peripherals perimeter arch count, not even thinking concerto grosso. Doing supererogatory pools, lambda by alphabet celestial, metal goggles armistice-eyed fencing rules, something so subtle for testimonial. Lucky dip found in the earned chicken scratch, stipulation sine qua non guarantee, Reddit Agago forum home stretch, tolerable for coalescence degree. If you might miss one prosopopoeia, it is research autoradiography. The more often we see the things around us, even the beautiful and wonderful things, the more they become invisible to us. That is why we often take for granted the beauty of this world, the flowers, the trees, the birds, the clouds, even those we love. Because we see things so often, we see them less and less. Joseph B. Worthlin. Offering to the Storm Sonnet Poetry. What's important to me is offering perspectives into worlds that people don't often get to see. Do you know what I mean from angles they don't often get to see? Ryan Coogler. This prologue conciliatory backdraft, somewhat of a tentative inquiry, eyeing Dragonfire with stag jigger mast, every second as memento mori. Such condensation thinking about it, 20,000 leagues under injustice, already stuck in the orchestra pit, no doubt presence is enough to suffice. Tropical reaching titillating break, squall precip exchange plus paragrenade, receive a Mistral's emergency brake, to sharpen, gale must incapacitate. Inadequate copacetic breathing, I guess back till gyre monsoon whirl sheathing. Times of great calamity and confusion have been productive for the greatest minds. The purest ore is produced from the hottest furnace. The brightest thunderbolt is elicited from the darkest storm. Charles Caleb Colton. Join me sonnet poetry. To join in the Industrial Revolution, you needed to open a factory. In the Internet Revolution, you need to open a laptop. Alexis Ohanian. A place to come down from your cadent perch, Velcro strap pulled open from the tight hinge, hecklers brought on stage by the symposiarch, such as the show Kill Tony to infringe. Entrench ensconce mooring this harborage, prox to stop any hemorrhage bleeding, each freight container with risk arbitrage, forgether constellate interceding. The least I could do turtleneck collar, one day it shall show how I can know you, you're welcome, and here's a fair dollar, collector of internal revenue. My patron if who really likes me, for now, take bequeath skeleton key. There is no definition of beauty, but when you can see someone's spirit coming through, something unexplainable, that's beautiful to me. Liv Tyler. Average Utilitarianism Sonnet Poetry. A test of right and wrong must be the means of ascertaining what is right or wrong, not a consequence of having already ascertained it. John Stuart Mill. Deontological polyaxiomatics rather than free altruism vs self-control. Affected individuals radix, maxim moral utility charcoal. Flu bottleneck models avail ashes, still objection hedonistic monsters. Choose moral happiness pulling punches, post-mortem lividity, neo-lobsters. Consequentialism versus pragmatism, normative DOM rule, tough acts to follow. Populate ethics countless forms of isms, applied to social welfare Apollo. Conduct of all humans search equally, how many conjunctions peacefully those who desire virtue for its own sake, desire it either because, it is a pleasure, or because, being without it is a pain. John Stuart Mill. General vs. Special Sonnet Poetry. You cannot hope to build a better world without improving the individuals. To that end, each of us must work for his own improvement and, at the same time, share a general responsibility for all humanity, our particular duty being to aid those to whom we think we can be most useful. Marie Curie. Continuous and deterministic, rough planes cause and leap local effect. Probabilistic than arithmetic, subatomic particle circumspect. Spec inertial frames of reference, subjective speed of light trailing linear. Schrödinger's cat interpret indifference, catch genuine honey than vinegar. Ud TVD homogeneity, certain axiom gradients if they exist. What are we without consanguinity wave-like boundaries connotation cyst? Goetudes E equals MC2 bending levitation, bad always blame their tool's sublimation. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special. Jim Valvano. Heart-shaped gizmo sonnet poetry. Love myself I do. Not everything, but I love the good as well as the bad. I love my crazy lifestyle, and I love my hard discipline. I love my freedom of speech and the way my eyes get dark when I'm tired. I love that I have learned to trust people with my heart, even if it will get broken. I am proud of everything that I am and will become. Johnny Weir. Be still my beating heart into the void, everything under the sun's dirty bows. Something odd strange straight out of Sigmund Freud, weird incentive non-expected escrow. Here's the hidden thing about black boxes, it is wearing a good apparatus. Truths of love with many leaky faucets, upper incisors beveled edge callus, reverberate echoes apotheosis, whatchamacallit planned obsolescence. Much unlike the meek actions of Moses, grace has given but a ghostly presence. Amity accord concord harmony, casual mess of petty larceny. The human-made world is mostly beyond our comprehension. Our daily survival depends on seemingly magical gizmos that provide our food, water, clothing, comfort, transportation, education, well-being, and amusement. Mark Frauenfelder. Avatar Cannibals Sonnet Poetry. You need virtual reality to understand high-level science or high-level math. It's very helpful to explain third and fourth dimensional things that people are constantly addressing in quantum physics. But, as soon as you're creating an avatar, and you can live and you can start to feel sensations on VR, that has gone too far. Jaden Smith. More flesh Mike Myers Shrek than blood from ogre, God Almighty. Precious fallen idols. Sinister assumptions behind crowbar, I wouldn't put it past these vampire cycles. An example is better than precept. Quiche-eaters anima gird one's loins. Can't have one without animus adept, if you can't beat M, the infinite joins. Self-harm character assassination, non-playable kooks wanting this lame label. Busy as Meta Grand Central Station, aerophony as a $3 bill. Given almost too proud as a peacock, it is what it is, man-eaters stand still. If a politician found he had cannibals among his constituents, he would promise them missionaries for dinner. H. L. Mencken. Ink and quill sonnet poetry. Never pick a fight with people who buy ink by the barrel. Mark Twain. Crafting plucked feathers sack with a book, chine plumage of wisdom survival traits. Chances already within this pre-kook, finally, patience pays off in what waits. Stripping pinion metrics of opinion, neat inventory between hay and grass. Sparrows in hand better than the pigeon, transformation improv floats naval brass. Now with copy and paste features for side mapping, on the shimmy plus wallaby packed track. Maybe avoiding dead tree formatting colliery desiring a blister pack. Felt tip opuses, over typical, my self-owned uncertainty principle. I don't use a pen. I write with a goose quill dipped in venom. J. Dratler. Key to the city sonnet poetry. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Liana Cordes. Lacking but not whole disambiguation, gestures floating evaporated, flashed out with the lame current filtration, unlocking doors is more complicated. When it's too many to count latchkey kids, people's fear by international news, over the top cause-effect risking bids. That will get others talking on those views. Non-useful anxiety traction, orient scary social not balance goal. Valueless in long-term chain reaction, one more reason to fill someone's bowl. Much more satisfying for the giver, spine reveals blab going up the shiver. When you look at a city, it's like reading the hopes, aspirations, and pride of everyone who built it. Hugh Newell Jacobson. Repeating history sonnet poetry. I think if we don't understand history, if we don't keep referring back to it, we become complacent. And complacency, as we all know, it leads to repeating history. Ruth Nega. Iambic pentameter, it is all there, locked quatrains towards the geometric place. Technical prisoners of culture war, glass mirrors staring back into your face. What are stressed syllables on the surface? How can you flee polar opposites? Fair but blunt nonsense living on a prayer, same shit expressed using turd sock puppets. Seeing the colored planes pattern norms, bits of the shambling zombies falling off. Obsessed with taking the bull by the horns, justifying generic trope whooping cough. Like or lump, there is bigger fish to fry, bark up the wrong tree rooted gone awry. History is a gallery of pictures in which there are few originals and many copies. Alexis de Tocqueville.